Good Friday morning, everybody. You're watching the Kaiser Report. Kaiser and I are coming to you today to talk to you about a few things that have gone on with our president that is still president until Monday. Decided to do his farewell speeches and talk to people, both at dinners and then addressing the nation with a lot of bitterness and worry about democracy again, when, if you think about it, the most threat to democracy that he's talking about has taken place in the last 4 years of his leadership. Not only the lawfare and the things that he's done to suppress the person running against him, and what he's allowed to happen with our border, with what he's allowed to get his cabinet to get away with. And we don't know to this day who was calling the shots in the White House, whether it was just bureaucratic people that are running around with the power to do this. But obviously, he's bitter, he's nasty, and he just does not want to get over the fact that Kamala Harris lost and the fact that he was stabbed in the back by Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. And I'm sure that Obama was involved in that up to his neck as well. But we don't know what took place there because everything was covered up. And now he's complaining outstandingly that the media is being manipulated and that social media is at risk because now they're not doing any fact-checking. Well, if you remember back to his presidency, which was the last 4 years, there wasn't a lot of fact-checking done when it came to the Democratic side. They only fact-checked one side and had the media go along with their agendas. And that's come out now with Zuckerberg having said on Joe Rogan that he was coerced into doing and saying or not saying certain things or allowing certain things on his platforms. And we know that took place, and we're very well cognizant of the fact that democracy itself was threatened with lawfare, and democracy itself was threatened when we had a sitting president that was running for office that was asked to step down, and they inserted someone without one vote to run for the office, the highest office in this land, and hopefully maybe she'll win against the threat to democracy, Donald J. Trump and his minions of garbage, as they put it, that were supporting him. And they just will not understand that the American people have spoken to this nation and to this government about their displeasure with the way things were going to continue had we kept the Democratic control in the power seat that they were occupying and still occupy until Monday noon. There's no reason for the nastiness. There's no reason that certain people will not be attending. Well, here, let's just take a look at this little meme.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard.
When you think of an oligarchy, you think of all the billions of dollars surrounding Donald Trump right now, and he's kind of like the gatekeeper of the country. All the power is with him. The scary part is these people aren't billionaires because they created the zipper. They hold our attention for hours a day on addictive devices where we cannot get any regulation. So they not only surround the man and have access to power, because money is power. Power is, everything right now. It's the fact that they run the companies that own our souls right now.
What?
It's the fact that they run the companies that own our souls right now.
It's the fact that they run the companies that own our souls right now.
Get professional help.
These people.
Incredible how a president at his age cannot follow suit with other past presidents that gleefully left with a positive message right down the line up until we hit Joe Robinette Biden and his displeasure of everything that he can't control. Well, anyway, the hearings are going on today. Kristi Noem is before the inquisitors right now in their hearings, and hopefully that will go well. I think she's a fairly well-liked and very smart individual. So let's hope they don't beat her up, as they have been beating the other candidates right up until today. There is a approval by the Israeli cabinet now for the ceasefire negotiations that are going on presently, and we'll see where Netanyahu goes after he has his council approvals and see if this ceasefire will take place and some hostages will be released. I'm not sure about all the details on it. I don't think a lot of people are. It's right now, it's just a matter of Blinken and Biden making sure that they get total credit for it, because they don't want Donald Trump involved in this at all. They want to take full credit for that, and maybe he can have a legacy of saying that he enacted the ceasefire and got some hostages back. We'll see where that goes. I think it's today that they're going to make a decision whether or not to sign and go forward with the agreed upon ceasefire that they're talking about. But I really believe in my heart of hearts that if you think about it, what we have here is the threat from Donald Trump, which he gave out weeks ago, telling them that if it was not done by the time he was inaugurated, they will be hellfire and hell to pay in the Middle East if that was not accomplished. So we'll see where that goes today, and then we'll see who takes full credit for whatever does take place. I believe stopping too short on this is not a good thing, because it's giving Hamas a chance to refuel, rearm, and re-recruit. And Blinken already has admitted that they have recruited more people now than they have lost in this war. And whether or not that's true, we don't know, but it's a high possibility. And that's a given. But let's hope and pray for peace in the Middle East and for the return of whatever hostages are still alive, because it's my belief that we're not going to get a whole lot back other than some coffins. We'll see. God help us. We need to get an end to wars in this world and start to unite as the children of Christ that we are, and help each other, not destroy each other. So with that, it's Friday. We're embarking on a new weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. There's some bitter cold coming starting, I believe, on Sunday evening and going on through all of next week. And when I say bitter cold, I mean very, very cold here in Appalachia and East Tennessee. And please keep in your prayers the people that are still suffering in western North Carolina and northeast Tennessee that got hit so badly by the hurricane and the flooding, as well as the people in L.A. that are in the dire straits of trying to get shelter, but at least their weather is probably a little bit better than sub-teen weather that will be taking place with people in western North Carolina and East Tennessee living in tents outside with very little protection against cold. The churches are opening up their doors for warming stations, and you need to check locally which of your organized churches are doing that have the room to do that. And of course, if you see somebody in need, try to help them out. People that are just not doing well as a result of fires, floods, hurricanes, and windstorms. So it's Friday, and we're looking forward to a very cold but happy weekend here. I'm waiting patiently for Monday to take place so we can watch the inauguration and the parade that will ensue. There'll be a lot of fun things to watch there, especially Donald J. Trump taking the oath of office and going to work for we the people for a change rather than working for someone, thousands of miles away or for themselves, which has been the past 4 years. You cannot write a book of fiction depicting this last 4 years and have anybody in the world believe it. But we've lived through it, we've watched it, and we've endured through it with the prices rising daily, car insurance, homeowners insurance, and things of that nature are almost unaffordable anymore unless you have a really, really good job. But we'll see if it gets better and how fast it will get better. With an administration of people in a cabinet that happen to understand what it's like to have to sign a paycheck, be responsible for an employee and their families, and so on and so on. But Congress right now needs to get hold of themselves, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and do the job it will take to fix the problems that we're facing right now, both on the border, the economy, and the pricing of insurances and pharmaceuticals, and getting in hand what our food supplies are doing to our population, especially the younger population. When you turn on a TV and you watch the commercials for the Shriners and for Danny Thomas's foundation, and look at these children that are suffering from cancers that we never did see in the past when we were young. Why? Because the foods have been poisoned and it's been allowed to happen. We have things in our food that no European company would allow a product to have for their people. And the fast food industry needs to be looked at as well. There's some definite changes that have taken place over the last probably 40 years since the advent of fast food restaurants and processed food that literally will make you sick. And this is what we imbibe every day. As healthy food? No. And I know everybody can't grow their own gardens, raise their own cattle, but it's a shame what this country has let happen to its population. And now we're letting in people from we don't know where, in most cases, that are reintroducing diseases in this country that we have eradicated years and years ago, and maybe even bringing in a couple of new strains of it that we haven't heard of yet but will. And we're looking for the cabinet pick, which is Mr. Kennedy, to help us get a hold and a handle on what's happening to our foods and pharmaceuticals and vaccines. So I'm going to wish you a very, very happy weekend, and hopefully you will be able to enjoy and get ready for Monday if you're not working on Monday for some reason, and get a chance to see the inauguration. I will be reporting on it and probably bringing you some clips of it on Tuesday morning on the Kaiser Report. So until next Monday, we're going to say have a great, happy, and blessed weekend. And please don't forget, in your prayers, pray for the people that are suffering in the cold and without a home due to being burned out of Southern California. They need our prayers, whether they're Democratic, whether they're Republican, independent, black, white, or green. They need our prayers, and God will listen. So God bless you all. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, for your commentary and news. And God bless. Bye-bye now.